Happening right now. It's Inauguration Day in the Sunshine State. These are live pictures out of the state capitol in Tallahassee. Ron DeSantis has just been sworn in as Florida's next governor. He took the oath of office, becoming our state's 46th governor.
And he isn't wasting any time getting right to work, canceling the parade that usually follows the inauguration so he can hit the ground running as our governor.
Let's go live as Governor DeSantis addresses a crowd.
I will also be guided by the love and support of my wife, Casey. She will be a terrific First Lady for Florida. She's my best friend, an accomplished professional, a wonderful mother for our two young children, Madison and Mason. As many of you saw, a pretty darn good campaigner in her own right, and she really cares about the people of this state. Now, Casey and I have decided to dispense with the parade that typically takes place after these inaugurations. Instead, we will return to the governor's mansion to have our little boy Mason baptized with water we brought back from the Sea of Galilee in Israel. I'm also fortunate to be succeeding our new U.S. Senator, Rick Scott, who stood here 8 years ago at a time of great economic turmoil and pledged to put people back to work. Today, 1.5 million more Floridians have jobs, and our economy is one of the best in the nation. Senator Scott, your laser-like focus on improving Florida's economy has meant so much in the lives of so many here in our state. You are leaving a strong foundation from which we here today can build. I wish you and Ann fair winds and following seas in our nation's capital. I know he had to leave early because his swearing in is in a couple of hours. He will continue to be a champion for Florida in the United States Senate. So it now falls to me to build upon the foundation that has been laid to navigate the challenges, economic, environmental, and constitutional that lie ahead, and to steer Florida to a stronger, cleaner, and safer future. Florida competes with other states to attract investment, jobs, and opportunities for citizens. Too many states have sought to match runaway public expenditures with ever-increasing levels of taxation. This creates a vicious cycle that leads productive citizens to flee, repels investment, and leaves the people overburdened with less opportunity to prosper, all the while badly damaging the fiscal health of these states. Indeed, we in Florida have benefited from these follies and have wisely chosen sound fiscal policies and maintained a favorable tax climate. Let's promote a virtuous cycle whereby low taxes, a reasonable regulatory climate, a sensible legal system, and a healthy environment attract jobs, businesses, and investment, particularly in the areas of technology, manufacturing, and finance. An expanding economic base will yield more high-paying jobs for our citizens and is the best way to generate the revenue needed for public priorities like education, protecting our natural resources, and helping our infrastructure. We know what works and what doesn't. Let's not veer off course. Our economic potential will be jeopardized if we do not solve the problems afflicting our environment and water resources. People come to Florida because of its natural beauty. Tourism is not only a pillar of our state's economy, it helps spread the tax burden to non-Floridians, limiting taxes on our own citizens. But this could be in jeopardy if we do not solve our pressing environmental problems. As the great philosopher Yogi Berra remarked, if people don't want to come, nobody is going to stop them. Now, for Florida, the quality of our water and environmental surroundings are foundational to our prosperity as a state. It doesn't just drive tourism. It affects property values. It anchors many local economies and is central to our quality of life. The water is part and parcel of Florida's DNA. Protecting it is the smart thing to do, but it's also the right thing to do. I will lead efforts to save our waterways. We will fight toxic blue-green algae. We will fight discharges from Lake Okeechobee. We will fight red tide. We will fight for our fishermen. We will fight for our beaches. We will fight to restore our Everglades, and we will never, ever quit. We won't be cowed, and we won't let the foot draggers stand in our way. We resolve to leave Florida to God better than we found it. We also resolve to support education. Florida should place a greater emphasis on vocational and technical training, as there is honor in jobs that require vocational skills, and those who work hard in these trades make great contributions to our society and should have our admiration. Skills-based education should also include training in computer science and technology, as these skills will continue to be demand for the foreseeable future. Now, in a large and diverse state, our education system needs to empower parents to choose the best possible school for their children. One size does not fit all. No family should be denied the opportunity for their child to succeed due to insufficient income or to living in the wrong zip code. And this opportunity must extend to every Floridian, regardless of race, color, or creed. We need to rediscover the value of civics education. Our founding principles are what enables a nation conceived in liberty to long endure. Their preservation is why so many Americans have laid down their lives in battles near and far. How can we ensure that government of the people shall not perish from the earth if we fail to provide all of our students with the foundational knowledge needed for properly discharging the duties of citizenship? One key element of our civic tradition is the distinction between the three branches of government. As a recovering U.S. Congressman, I understand and respect the powers afforded to the legislative branch. Our legislators are independently elected. They don't work for me, but I hope they will work with me to meet the needs of the people of Florida. In no area is legislative initiative more needed than in the field of health. The escalating cost of medical care, prescription drugs, and health insurance has wreaked havoc on family budgets, priced many out of the market entirely, and has put significant stress on our state budget. The current system is riddled with perverse incentives. It intrudes on the doctor-patient relationship, and it's mired in bureaucracy and red tape. The people of Florida deserve relief. I also understand that the role of the judiciary, while important, must be limited. It is a self-evident truth that in our constitutional system, courts lack the ability to legislate. But for far too long, Florida has seen judges expand their power beyond constitutional bounds and substitute legislative will for dispassionate legal judgment, all the while damaging the constitutional separation of powers, reducing the power of the people, and eroding individual liberty. To my fellow Floridians, I say to you, judicial activism ends right here and right now. I will only appoint judges who understand that the proper role of the courts is to apply the Constitution as written, not to legislate from the bench. The Constitution, not the judiciary, is supreme. 1 month before the election.
You have been listening
ferocious-
to Governor Ron DeSantis, the 46th governor of the state of Florida. He says that through his administration, he resolves to leave the state of Florida better than he found it. Of course, usually what comes after the inauguration is an inauguration parade. He says that is not going to be happening today. He's going to be going back to the governor's mansion with his family to baptize his son with water from the Sea of Galilee. So a little bit different than what we're used to seeing after an inauguration, but he says he is ready to get right back to work.
Of course, you can watch Governor DeSantis' complete speech on our website, cbsmiami.com. And of course, we'll have much more on CBS 4 News at 5. We will be right back.